What's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is the Warehouse Series. So, guys, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I can only do that with your help with sharing my content. So, it's much appreciated. If you are not a subscriber, if you could do that, please do. Guys, this is Discord Friday. Every Friday, I go over on Discord, which that link is in the description below, and we go over your work. If you want to help support the channel by donating or shopping on my eBay store, it's much appreciated. A few of you have already done that, and you were happy with your product, and I thank you for the feedback. Let's get to the first set of pictures, which is one person's individual order. All right, now this person's a newer selector, and there is a lot of things going on here with this pallet. There are a few good things, but there's a lot of bad things going on. First and foremost, I want to get to all these big cases you have on your pallet. Now, we did the right thing here by starting off with our corner, but this right here would have been on my base. All first layer, okay? This salsa right here would have been in a different area. We only got 4 salsas. We could easily place that probably even on top of these cases once we had that solid base. But all of these big square cases, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have one up front. I would group them all together. All right, with the higher cases being on the corners and the low cases being on the inside. And if you have gaps, separate your cases, because usually you only fit 3 of these across, so you want to make sure you're separating your gaps so we're not having big holes. These cases are nice big surfaces to stack on. I would focus on keeping all these big boxes on my first layer. The salt, I'm curious, did that come earlier and it was a scratch and you had to go back to get it? Because if it came later, that is a heavy item to be putting on top of your pallet. So be careful with that. I like the corner with it if you have to do it, and don't be afraid to throw some wrap around here if you have to do so. Another thing, we want cases level, all right? We don't want this right here. We want cases fitting level, and the way we could have done that, now you're keeping the small cases in the middle, which is good. This right here needs to get out of here. So we could have put all these small cases flat on top of this box right here in the middle, all right? This case and this case, I would have tried to keep together side by side. It would form a beautiful, strong corner. With that being said, though, I mean, we're somewhat square. I just would focus on keeping these big boxes as a first layer. You're just going to have a better starting building block with all these big cases. Instead of all these cans and these jars right here to stack on with holes, you would have all the big cases to stack on. So really focus on trying to get all these boxes on the first layer. And if that salt comes later in your order, I think your warehouse needs to move it. Let's get on to the next picture here. Okay, here, I do want to say one more thing. Your sugar, your flour, and all this stuff here, you do not want to hang these in the gaps like you're doing on both sides. These are individual bags in there, and when you do this, you could actually cause a big problem with your order, because believe it or not, it's amazing how much weight this will distribute to another area that we don't want it to go to because it's leaning. So try not to do it with those. Now, you did it back here with your charcoal, which is fine, okay? There's certain things you could do it with, and this is one of the few things because it's a solid bag and it's very stiff and it's not going to really go anywhere. So you could do it with this. These bags here, they're leaning in a little too much on our corner. I mean, that is fine, but honestly, I would have just kept them here. I probably would have just stacked them on top of my other charcoals, and I would have done something differently with that corner. This case right here, hanging out way too far. If there's something on the inside that's allowing you not to put it there, remove the case from the inside. All right, throw some small cases in there. Remember, the perimeter of our pallet's the most important. But with this being your first layer, I truly believe with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we had on the other side, and you already got 2, we could have formed a really solid base out of these boxes. I like the skinny sugar in the middle. I like the skinny case here. And like, you have a really good thing going here. It's not horrible. Let's look at the back of this pallet. So like I already pointed out this, I like your skinny middle. I like what you're doing here, keeping the bigger case on the outside, even though we got a higher inside, a lower outside. When our outside is lower, as long as that surface is big enough to correct ourselves, and you did it. So I actually am going to take that back with the charcoal. I actually like what you did with the charcoal. So we corrected ourselves. We had a high inside, low outside, and we corrected it. Although I don't like how you corrected it. I would have just scooted this over and kept this upright. Now, because we're going to look at that right now. God, you even got one up here. Are these scratches? Please let me know in the comment section below if this is your order, because this is a case that should be on the base with all the other ones. So please let me know if you had a couple scratches and you had to go back for them on this order. This side here, we got a lot going on. All right, so this right here, keep them upright, all right? Because anytime we do this, we have an opportunity of cases falling out the packaging. These packages are so weak, and when we select these, we grab them by the ends and we're stretching out the plastic that's barely holding on to these things. So when you do this, there's a possibility that you're going to have a bag fall out, and we're leading into the gap again. Don't lean these bags in the gaps at all. All right, so this right here, this section right here, it looks so horrible in this section, and it's all because of this down here. So I want to show you something. So this is what I want you to work on. So picture the blue case is this. We got the red case right here, and we got the green case is this one right here, okay? Now, I don't mind you doing this right here, but scoot it over a little bit, okay? We got a gap right here. We got a solid case. We got a solid surface. So it won't hurt to hang this can off just a couple inches, maybe 1.5 inches into this gap to help close that gap in, because most of the case will be sitting on this green case. All right, and then we got a big enough shelf here where as soon as I have this going on, these steps like you have here, this is when I focus on getting level again. So what I would do is, like this case here, it would have been right here. I would have had a low flat case right here, and then I would have took my tall case, my cans, and made it level again. So this case right here, laying flat and just sliding these cans over again, are probably gonna get us pretty darn level. So when you have a shelf like this, you got high and lows like this, focus on trying to get that level again with another high and a low, swapping them around. I talk about it a lot. And if we could have made this level in here and made this more solid right here, then this would not be happening up here where everything is falling forward. All right, I just wanted to point this out. Johnny Cage over on Discord posted this, just paid off my car, 6-year loan in 2 years. I love it, guys. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm telling you, that I'm not here. I used to do a finance channel, guys. I'm not here to, preach and I'm just saying this is what selection should be used for. This is what your incentives should be used for. And this is what selection should be used for. So guys, when you start doing stuff like this, and 4 years from now, you know what? I just cannot stand selecting anymore. Well, you can leave with ease. If you're leaving because you got that new fictitious number that I'm working overtime and I'm making all this incentive. So instead of making 50K a year, you're making 70K a year. And now you have this new fictitious number of $70,000 that you think that you're living even larger than what you are. And then you start going out buying new cars and doing whatever. And then that goes away. All right, either A, you lose your job or the overtime goes away or whatever. Then you're stuck trying to find a second job just to get that lifestyle that you never had, that you weren't supposed to have. This is what you need to be doing with your stuff, paying off your debts so you can leave with ease whenever the time comes. All right, guys, this order right here, I like it. All right, and I say this, and I see people on Discord say, guys, keep things simple. All right, people make things so overcomplicated, and an order like this that should be easily stacked really gets goofed up real easy by people. And it all is about staying within the confines of the pallet, keeping your bigger cases on the outside, keeping light cases together. So the person that just said on the bottom, see how we're keeping all light cases together, making sure that we're utilizing. I know this is all bigger cases, but this is just beautifully done. I just love it. Something simple. It's a lot of weight, but you could also throw this pretty quickly. All right, guys, we also threw a survey up that I actually was kind of not really shocked about, but at the time that I screenshotted this, it said, do you report unsafe conditions in the warehouse? 27% said yes, 38% no time for that crap, 35% why, the company doesn't care. And old me would actually get upset about this, be like, really, guys? Because I report everything. I got that guilty conscience that if I see something hanging in the rack and a pallet's about to fall over and an hour goes by and someone comes up to me, hey, did you hear Jim just got crushed by some cases that fell off the rack in 68 out? I can't live with myself, guys. That's why I report stuff. I cannot let something go that I've seen and then later on someone gets hurt by that situation. I just want to be able to live with myself. So I do report every single unsafe act I see that I think is going to cause major harm to somebody. But this here is the management's problem. This is an ongoing thing between these warehouses that management does not care. And when management doesn't care, your workers don't care. and it just trickles down, guys. So this response is bad atmosphere in the warehouse, in my opinion. It is management not doing their job of showing that they care. All right. So when management shows that they don't care, your workers aren't going to care either. So wasn't too shocked by this. All right, guys, this is a really nice order. We're going to look at the front and the back of this. A lot of small cases. Remember, guys, what I say, when you have a lot of small, different size cases and, you know, you're not getting a ton of stuff that lines up, just call them stack. Call them, call them, call them. We look for an opportunity to use a slip sheet. Now, you guys know I don't like cases hovering over nothing, but we're higher up the pallet. If this was any lower on the pallet, I would disagree with it, but we're higher up on the pallet. We got strong cases on the corners that this right here is not going to jeopardize anything, okay, is what I'm getting to. Very well wrapped, very nice and square. There's a lot of things going on here that made this okay. Now, remember, guys, if this was down here, 1000% disagree with it. It's up higher on the pallet. I think it was a good opportunity to do it. You did a great job. I mean, guys, seriously, this pallet is just stacked really nice, and we're going to take a look at the other side. Here's the back of it, just beautifully. I mean, I love when you guys look, guys, keeping light cases together, big cases pointing in, that skinny column. Look, we got our crossing T here. We kept our small cases in the middle, small cases in the middle, bigger cases pointing in. It's all about the basics. Just beautifully done. Thank you for posting your work. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for posting your work. Leave questions or comments in the comment section below. Join that Discord. Help support the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.